Hi there, everyone. It is time to check out the Finnish entry for Eurovision 2019, and it is actually Darude. I mean, just the concept of Darude being in Eurovision that's blows my mind. I'm so curious to hear what this is actually gonna be. Uh, so I'm just gonna get right into it. Let's go. Okay, it's a live performance. All right, this is atmospheric. All right, I like the growly synths and then this really bright piano on it. Okay. I like the pulsing rhythm in the synth. Okay. It's a bit weak, isn't it? I'm feeling for an old trance god to make something not more palpable than this. Synths are good. I like the concept of it, I think. There are strengths in here. But I think the production isn't quite striking enough, which surprises me considering... I mean, Darude is Darude. I'm not completely sold on the vocals, to be completely honest. They feel like placeholders. There's really nothing that stands out a lot about the vocals. Perhaps it's just this live version that's a bit more feeble than it's supposed to be. Okay, this is a good change up. Great use of the percussion here to build it. Okay. I feel like there could be a greater punch in this chorus. Like the synth has a nice sound to it, but just that really impactful ambience of just really taking over, it's kind of lacking a little bit. The vocal is growing on me a little bit. I just don't think it's gonna be memorable enough. Okay. I like how they use the call response vocal technique right here. Okay, that was the outro. Okay. Alright, this... I still can't get over the fact that Darude is in Eurovision, really. That's so cool. But I'm not so sure on this one. I mean, it's always harder to judge a live performance for this very reason. The mixing does not come across with the impact that the producer intended. So I'm going to be interested to listen to the studio version. But as it sounds during this live performance, the mixing isn't quite prominent enough. It's not powerful enough. You know, it doesn't really just hit you really hard. It more or less just has the concept going for it, but hasn't been polished enough to really have that striking impact on you. Perhaps it's only the live performance that is like this, but it kind of sounded like the actual song might have a slight tendency to be a bit similar in that sense. It was stupid of me to not check the studio version, but that's just how it is. The vocals throughout weren't really that outstanding, I would say. They weren't very memorable. Performed okay, I guess. It's not like the vocalist really stole the show or anything. But it was passable, I'd say. The I think the best part of the song was actually the very beginning, because it had a great atmosphere going on there with the really growly synths in the background, like the pads that kind of had this space vibe in them, and then these super bright piano notes, just like really high up in the notes, just gave a great contrast to each other and really had something going for it. And then the vocal comes in, and it's a good opening to the song, but it just feels like where it's losing that momentum is mainly when the chorus gets going, because it doesn't have enough of an impact. That's just my general first impression of that. I like the build up, especially in this. I think the second build up was pretty strong with the percussion, um, going quite in the old trance genre. So that was a pleasant little throwback, and it's always just great to see this beard that Darude has. Stage performance looked pretty cool as well, so maybe they can bring this spinning square and its visuals on the outside. Uh, yeah, just a mixed bag on this one, really. It's, I mean, things to like, things to maybe not like as much. I'd really, it's so stupid of me not to listen to the studio cut, but what can you do now? But my first impressions on this one, it's a solid song to at its core, and it has a lot of great potential. But I'm not quite feeling the finished product here. Um, I think that's the best way I can put it, actually. And other than that, um, just tell me what you think of this one. Were you expecting maybe a little bit more from the legend Darude, or was this kind of what you expected? I mean, it's been what, 20 years since he last made something that people actually know about. So maybe the bar wasn't very, like, the expectations weren't that high. I think that if this was sent like 15 years ago, it could have exploded in Eurovision. People would just be like, "Wow, Darude!" And then this kind of song. I think it would have worked much better back in the day than it does now, because even though it's this modern house kind of style, it feels a bit out of date, I think, as it is now anyway. Those are just my opinions. What do you think of this song? Do you, yeah, again, did you expect more, or was this kind of what you expected? Just tell me in the comments, and other than that, have a good one until next time, and take care of yourselves. Bye bye.